Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hope you have a fantastic day ahead. And if you are in India या आप किसी ऐसी जगह पर हैं जहाँ पर ऑलमोस्ट शाम हो चुकी है, I hope you had a fantastic day already. Uh, as part of my technology initiative on this platform, I am going to have a lot of more such sessions, such podcasts for people who are interested in certain domains of technology, certain areas that they really want to understand, talk about, and I'm going to invite more of some amazing people from द इंडस्ट्री तो आप लोग भी मुझे रीच आउट कर सकते हैं इफ यू रियली वांट मी टू have somebody or if you yourself wish to be part of this podcast series and I could not have been happier or excited than having somebody who has been in this industry for so long, somebody who's already an accomplished executive, somebody who has uh, been there, done that. बहुत सारे इन्होंने ऐसे initiative already कर चुके हैं, and then there are many more that are on his plate, and we'll get to know more about that as we talk about what he's been up to in the last so many years and what's he up to for future because he has been into cloud, big data, cybersecurity, and of course, the big focus today, even for this session, blockchain, machine learning, and the cryptocurrency. So we're going to talk a lot about that. This next almost 1 hour is going to be focused on amazing work he's been doing and things he's done, not only in this domain but also something that he wants to do for our country, even for making some kind of a global platform, and we'll talk more about that as we invite him. As far as some protocols are concerned, as you all know, these sessions are very candid. So I'm gonna be very candid, very casual. I really want to understand, all the intricacies around, uh, obviously cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but at the same time I want to give all of you an opportunity as well. So what that means is for the first 40-45 minutes, when we are done, I would give all of you an opportunity to join the session and ask any questions, seek any kind of guidance from the expert. So this guy I was talking about, this amazing accomplished executive, as I like to call him, is Mitthan Meena. He is right now CEO of a stealth startup, but he has been a technology manager. He has done some amazing work around, I would say, the world. He's worked at Semantics. He's formed multiple companies, which he's sold to multiple companies as well. And he is also, the highlight of this show is he's also the founder and CEO of Lakshmi Coin. Lakshmi Coin, which has been in the news for a lot many years now, for both good and bad reasons as well. I would not say bad, but these are things which could have made him, reach a different status or at a different position. But there were certain intricacies which he's still figuring out, and he wants people with. So that's why we are doing this session. So I'm really excited to have him on the show. So I'm going to have him right away. So welcome, Mitten.
Thank
And
you, Varun, for inviting me on your show. I'm lucky to be on your show, and your show is one of the popular show. And let me talk about myself, and then I'll deep dive on blockchain, especially Rover Network, which is the
sure.
blockchain for Lakshmi Coin. But
Yeah.
I am from Rajasthan, basically born in a small village. I did BTech from IIT Delhi. I worked a couple of years in Bangalore, and then Ireland, and then Bay Area. I work in a lot of startups. Fast forward 2019, in 9 or 10, I was like mining bitcoins and say, like working on a Bitcoin, and then I met Ripple team couple of times. I was like Ripple founders, and those I was in contact with them. I used to run a discussion forum called OpenCoin.in, I've been to a lot of Ripple's conference or blockchain conference around the world. Then we started. I thought we should build a platform which is for masses. Like this blockchains, current blockchains. If you look at Bitcoin or Ethereum or EOS and all those, they have a TPS. Like there are proof of concept or proof of stake. So basically, if you look at mining based blockchains like Bitcoin, the
Mm.
scalability is limited. You cannot do more than 10 transactions on Bitcoin per second. Similarly, 150 you can go Ethereum. But there are some other blockchains which are proof of stake where no mining, but they can scale large. But still, if you like a Visa network or Master network, they can do up to 27,000 or 55,000 transactions per second. That's the scale you need to replace the actual system. So, and with India, we have large number of people using internet, large number of people want to get into blockchain. This is immutable technology. Everybody wants to be in technology. So you need a technology which can scale like millions of transactions per second.
Mhm.
That's where we started Rover Network and Lakshmi Coin. So the Lakshmi Coin, people use it as a coin, but it's basically a token in a Rover Network.
Okay.
So that's about Lakshmi Coin. About me, I've been to a couple of startup, cybersecurity, and I was part of another startup. I was a co-founder of Wood Cloud, which is doing great right now. And then starting another IoT cloud security company, because cloud, you see a lot of things are moving to cloud. With the
Mhm.
pandemic, the cloud growth has really grown. Really,
Correct.
it's a 10-year faster than what you can imagine. Like the fast forward the rate. Most of the cybersecurity solutions like were on-prem, they move to cloud, but they don't scale, they don't work, and agent-based and all those. So you need a smarter cybersecurity solution. That's where I started my
Got
startup.
it.
Yeah,
I know you're already an accomplished guy. If I look at it, I feel, looking at this resume, it's almost time to retire. But looks like you're ready to go. You're always charged up. You're always moving along and ready for your next challenge. So that's great. So let's start. Some kind of specific details. You definitely have worked in cybersecurity domain and many other, right, and you very rightly said around the cloud that due to the pandemic the cloud growth I've been witnessing as well, around the world, be it any company, their cloud growth has grown exponentially, and
right.
it will continue to because of the way things are. But another area which has obviously grown tremendously is that the crypto and the Bitcoin.
Yep.
Everybody wants to jump and wants to understand what is mining, how can we mine, and how so why don't we start with that first? Tell
Sure,
us a little
sure.
bit about crypto currency, and what is the state right now, and how do you envision this particular.
So let's like 2009 or 10, I started with blockchain or cryptocurrencies. I was part of a lot of discussions, even Bitcoin talk and all lot of what that time itself I was very bullish about blockchain technology, because if you look at, I mean, just touching base, this you have see so many cybersecurity attack, or in India you see a lot of like bank, this guy has taken loan and move and all those things. Imagine everything was on blockchain. These problems will not be there. So what I see, blockchain is the technology of future, and Bitcoin might be one of the, you can call it a asset class or whatever class you call, but Bitcoin will be one of the leading asset like gold. And I think I'm today it is like around $52,000. I'm assuming it will, all the small, like every country is starting your own digital currency, like India, China, everybody. But slowly they will be packed by Bitcoin maybe someday. So I envision blockchain technology will be the mainstream technology especially your IoT devices, everything to work. And Bitcoin will be the base currency, and on top of the small crypto or these currencies will come, whichever platform provides more applications. It's like usability. Let's not go by the technology, but the usability. Like Rover Network, you can build lot of application, immutable application. You will not have this integrity problem. You will have transparency, and it's nobody can modify.
Got it. Got it. And any specific reason that you can think why it is gaining so much popularity?
Popularity is so okay, especially at this time. Some of the people for Bitcoin is like people are rushing for the value, but that is not the right reason. But think this way, like the local currencies or fiat currencies everywhere. You have a $10,000 in the bank. Let's say in when the 2000, now today the value of that 10,000 is maybe like over $1,000. So
Yeah.
your value has gone down by 1/10. So it's like you need a system where the value doesn't go. If you are keeping on money in the bank, it is actually you're losing money.
True.
So similarly, because you can print more, whereas you have a limited number on the blockchain. If any blockchain technology, the tokens or Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Lakshmi Coin, Stellar, EOS, ADA, or whichever you call,
Hmm.
I will talk more about Lakshmi Coin. So these numbers are limited. I can never modify. It will never be printed, basically. So that's why everybody wants to get in the system which retains its value.
Got it. Got it. And you just mentioned few of those. So can you tell us a little bit more about those? What are the main, as somebody who knows maybe very little about this, tell us a little bit more about what are these main cryptocurrencies, and uh, also how this is going to change the future.
So I think, yeah. So main is Bitcoin. It retains
Okay.
90% of the cryptocurrency market, and Bitcoin will be a leading or the only crypto which will be the base for all others. Then Ethereum is good. So Bitcoin is mining based, Ethereum is mining based, but actual day-to-day use for these two or these blockchains which are mining-based blockchain is very difficult. They are good for integrity, they are good for immutability, but actual day-to-day use, because their scalability is not there. So you need to have some new blockchain. I will not say cryptocurrency. People can call it whatever they want to, but there will be new innovation will be happening where the scalability, immutability, and integrity of the system has to enhance. So like Stellar came, and even Ethereum wants to move from proof of concept to the proof of stake, where the mining based to non-mining based, so it can scale. We started with the same approach, that it should be able to we want to bring the blockchain technology to the masses, mass adaptation, so people can build their own application and it can scale to a million of transactions at least. Like, compared to like other existing system, it should be matching or better without a compromise or without losing its integrity. So that's where we actually divided Rover network into a orbit and horizon. There are two portion of them. One
Okay.
take it runs on the servers, which are like core servers which can take compute. We have like we have planned to have servers each district of in India or all around the world, so the integrity can be maintained. And there's another portion of it which runs on a mobile. It's a lightweight agent, but what happens, you want to do any like in India, you think almost everybody has a smartphone.
Right.
So these lightweight agents can run by not consuming the battery and be very cognizant of the battery life cycle and internet connectivity, but
Mhm.
as well as participating in the authentication or consensus mechanism. So I don't know if some of the people know it, but there are in the consensus algorithm in blockchains, which is like federated Byzantine algorithm, practical Byzantine. We move to federated Byzantine so the scalability can be achieved.
Got it.
There are some other, while we were talking like EOS, ADA, there are other coming up.
Uh-huh.
Good. And there are some stable coins. Stable coins are pegged to your fiat currency, so they retain the same value.
Nice, very nice. Now you've all these names that you're mentioning, right? Lakshmi Coin is the only one which I feel has a kind of an Indian connect. Again, I don't want to be biased around,
Right.
it is coming from India versus it's coming from around the world. But why don't we see any kind of cryptocurrency out of India, like specifically from that Asian kind of segment?
I think that there are a couple of reasons to it. First thing, we started long early. I think we started on a right time, but we have seen some regulatory hurdles. I've
Hmm.
been writing to RBI, Honorable RBI, for permission because being a law-abiding citizen of India,
Right.
citizen of the world, you can say, like
Yeah.
we want to respect the rules. We
Mm.
want to respect the governments which are running these systems and integrity because they have to think about everybody. So even though we were very early stage of the technological innovation, but we are holding because of the regulatory. We don't want to get into anything which is regulatory don't allow, as we want to respect that, but we want to bring the innovation. We want the government to support the innovation so we can actually bring the technological innovation. It's like this: you want to hold, if you could, you want to hold the crypto, but the rest of the world is going far ahead. So you need to compete with the world, right? We
Right.
want to be in 21st century. We want to be with the world. So our blockchain technologies should be as good or smarter than the rest of the world
Yeah.
technology.
And we are when it comes to, again, this podcast or this session is not primarily for Indian audiences, but being a very proud Indian myself, I would love to see things coming out of, we see how the medical research, how other technologies, even the software development, how things are in India, and how advanced we have been in, even in space research and whatnot. So why not cryptocurrency? So absolutely. And so then the next question would be, what do you think, or what, from your perspective, you just mentioned you've been seeking permissions from RBI and all. What would be your suggestions in that case to the Indian agencies, to the government? How and what can they help you with, or people like you who really want to do certain things in certain domains, not only specific to crypto, but in this domain, maybe to help take India to the next level? What would be some of your kind of
I think
suggestions?
I'm hearing a lot of news that the Indian government is coming with some regulatory framework.
Uh-huh.
And I think I want to thank them for coming up. And this would have come up a little sooner, but at least now also, if they come up with the regulatory framework, and the regulatory framework is needed because there are a lot of scammers, a lot of people come for a wrong reason, and the Indian government done a wonderful job holding or stopping those people. I should actually thank them and the regulatories because they've been maintaining. Otherwise, throughout the world, there are a lot of bad actors. So that's needed. As well as you need to come up with a framework which allows the innovation. Innovation gives permission. So the framework should support the blockchain innovation. We know every blockchain needs some kind of token for maintaining the integrity of the system, maintaining integrity of the transaction or consensus mechanism. So there will be token. You can call it asset, you can call it token, you can call it a reward, you can call it whatever. Because somebody is putting a server, needs some reward for putting the server. So you can call it anything. So coming back to the same question, that I want to thank Indian government for holding those scammers, but as well as I want them to come up with a regulatory framework which supports the blockchain innovation across the India and actually take it to global. Think they say we are providing COVID vaccine to entire world today,
I know. Yeah,
right? We should be providing blockchain technology which entire world uses, and we
absolutely.
should be proud of it. We are providing software engineer everywhere, so why
Exactly.
not? So
Yeah.
that is my thought, that is my vision, that we should have a blockchain technology which can do millions of transactions as well as actually work, provide to the entire world, and integrity is maintained.
Got it. Got it. No, and I'm gonna, randomly start taking some questions as well from the chat as well.
Sure.
So, this is one of the questions. What are the likely problems that cryptocurrency poses to the financial sector in the future? Do you see
I
any
don't.
challenges?
Yeah, so it should look this way. Like every innovation comes, there will be a resistance. There, we have seen it throughout. When computers came, people were saying people will lose jobs and all those things. Everywhere it happens. Mobile come, lot of. But think about the benefit it brings. Think about the changes. Think about the things. You in future, your robots will be doing the transactions. You cannot have a currency without the integrity of like blockchain. You need integrity like blockchain. Cybersecurity attacks will be happening. Ransomware is happening. How will you maintain the integrity? So immutable infrastructure needs to come, and immutable payment system, right? That will come through your blockchain. So these cryptocurrencies are not a threat to financial sector. Actually, these are the innovation. If you look at the financial sector, there is not much innovation happened from last 10, 25 years. So these are the innovation. So I will say cryptocurrency or blockchain is bringing innovation in financial sector,
Mhm.
empowering more people, and bringing the trust back to the financial system. We are losing the trust. A lot of people are taking money away and running. That will
Yeah,
not happen if it is a blockchain technology.
got it, got it. Yeah, and there is some data also, person is sharing that Deutsche Bank predicts that the number of cryptocurrency users will grow 4 times in the next 10 years, reaching about 200 million. The growth is almost same as that of internet in the first 20 years. So that's how fast this, the growth is.
I,
Uh,
Exactly. The growth will be actually much faster now because the initial phase takes time. But now it will be like everybody's aware of it, everybody wants to get into the system. So, and regulatory framework around the world need to support. Everybody is supporting, but everybody is to come up with some guidelines which are enabling the system, better financial system, better, not just financial, it's a platform basically. You can call it for use for financial, you can use for asset management,
mhm.
you can use for your actually voting system in India. You see there are a lot of counting problems. That will never happen if you have it on blockchain.
Right,
Land
right.
registry, if you go to laxmicoin.com, we have these use cases listed. Land registry, like this guy has taken my land, encroachment and all those. Nothing will happen. You put on blockchain peacefully.
Great, great. All right. And I was sure, such questions would also come up. So, I think if I have to summarize or generalize this question, what's your take on gold investment? I would put it in very clearly. Which one do you think is better right now? Crypto investment or gold investment? What would your take be? Again, you could deflect the question. That's absolutely fine.
Right.
But I'll take your.
I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot advise, but I would say anytime crypto is much better than gold. To my take, this is my personal opinion. It's not a financial advice. I would actually go all about Bitcoin, the mainstream. There are bad cryptos, but I think most of them, the top ones, if you look coin market cap or all those, are good ones. But
Mhm.
go for the technology rather than going for crypto. Go for the which is a blockchain and blockchain which is like scalable.
Okay.
I think there will be no a new blockchain will be coming. Projects will be coming, which will overtake these some of them. Maybe now not Bitcoin, but the other ones.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to hold off on certain questions. Actually, let's take a step back, Mitten. And this is a very valid question as well. And I think we talked about it initially. But if you can, in layman language,
Right.
explain what is cryptocurrency.
Like there used to be, if you go back, like हम बोलते ना सदियों से पहले जाएंगे तो लोग क्या करते थे कि you give me one animal, I'll give you another animal, or you give me wheat, I'll give you the stone, right? It's a
Right.
barter sender,
Barter
well,
system. Exactly.
exchanging things, right?
Right.
Exchanging assets. So similarly, when human being innovation came, technology made advancement, what happened? We came up with a system which can work for everybody. So earlier, like kings used to have their own currencies, right? Then
Mhm.
how do you interlink with one king's currency to other king's currency? That's the problem came. So all these countries came up with a unified currency, fiat currency of each country. Similarly, the blockchain brings, say, the world on a same stage, the entire world on a same stage. Like you have this system which cannot be immutable, because earlier the countries had the currency was backed by gold. You have gold which is backing, but
Mhm.
now that has gone. Now it's all based on trust. But trust, like some people say, God we trust, but human being need to bring data on the table. Similarly, blockchain maintains that trust.
Mhm.
Blockchain technology brings that integrity. So एक सिस्टम है जिसको मॉडिफाई नहीं कर सकता. It's a system which cannot be modified without a consensus, unless some bad algorithms are different. But if the algorithms work as designed, 99.999% they work as designed. So in layman, it's a system of exchanging value, exchanging assets, which is 100% into transparent. You can say transparent, I mean, integrity is maintained. Nobody can actually manipulate, nobody can print more. So that's where common man, this is a same system which maintains your integrity and allows you to value exchange.
Okay. All right. Okay. Some more comments, some more questions. Yeah, we will definitely get to Lakshmi Coin in a bit, RD. So hold off on that. Another thing is ICOs have become increasingly murky. How do we deal with this?
Yeah, I think ICOs, I always stayed away from the ICOs. ICOs, 80% ICOs were a scam.
Uh huh.
I mean, we never took any money from anybody. We don't want to get into all these, because if somebody is doing ICO is taking money in advance, and you get a lot of legal hurdles. So ICOs, I feel they were mostly scams. Not scams, but they're not successful. Not many, like 90% of the ICOs are failed.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And again, this is a very basic question which I also wanted to ask. So, what are the most common use cases of cryptocurrency in the financial sector?
So yeah, so let's say remittance. You do remittance today. How much time it takes if you want to send a large amount? It takes a lot of time. A lot of checks are happening. You can do this transaction in a minute, like not even minute, like seconds, fraction of second.
Right.
Even within US or within India, if you transfer large amount from one bank to other bank, it takes a lot of time, a lot of hurdle. So these transaction of value, and then a system which can accrues. I was actually one of the use case we put on a Lakshmi Coin. You have these reward points. Some are coming from Ola, some coming from Flipkart, some coming from Amazon, some coming from Zomato, whatever. Let's say everything was on a same platform, and with the integrity is maintained, so you can actually use. So it's as valuable or useful as you can use. You can use any system.
Got it. Okay. So an extension of that question, would be, this is definitely a benefit, right? What are some other additional benefits? Any other domain you see as utilizing bitcoins, or anything else that you can add to that? So basically, how can a common man, sometimes what happens is, I'll be very honest, Mitten, I mean, and I can feel it, the people in the chat also, they feel this is for the technology enthusiast. This is something for somebody who really don't want to take a risk. Everybody, as a common man, or as a novice, we want to stay away from certain things. And bitcoins and cryptocurrency, everybody has their inhibitions. They are scared. They don't want to see their money go, and lose the money, because recently there were so many news that somebody forgot. And again, I'm just relating to maybe different items, but I just want to
Right.
say, from a common man perspective, somebody lost millions and millions of dollars in this because they could not recover their password and all that. So there are a lot of questions in everybody's mind. How can you help kind of generally, remove that fear? What would you say to a common man, that what, this is the new technology, this is the new thing that everybody should invest their time in?
So I'll tell you another technologically. When computers came, everybody was scared, they would stay away. When mobiles came, wanted to stay away. When cars came, people wanted to stay away. So a lot of how do we handle anything, any innovation comes resistance. But I'm not again an investment advisor, but what I will advise, just one like these, I'm just reflecting the studies are done by the top institutes, right? Or top financial advisors. Today, you don't have to jump in full, but just 1 to 2% of your assets or should be crypto, because you never know when the value changes. Imagine if, let's say, you okay, Varun, let me ask you. Let's say 2010, if you put 2% of your anything, let's say asset, okay, into Bitcoin, today you tell me what will be happen.
I'm, looking at.
All your 98% will be much lesser than the 2%, right?
I know. That's what
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen it.
the
And I regret. I'll be honest. I regret. There were times when I was thinking of we should do it, but that fear, the fear of the common man, right? That's what. Uh,
common man has to be intelligent enough that I want to take risk for 1%, 2%. It's, you never should take more than that. I mean, what you can lose. I mean, these are like my own. I'm applying on mine. I'm not
right.
advising anybody financial again. I want to repeat that again.
Correct.
But for me, my personally, I took little bit which I can afford to lose.
Correct.
And today it overtaken my rest of the things.
All
I
right.
can just sit back and relax. Like you said in the starting that you can retire. I
Yep.
can easily retire actually. But I
Right.
don't want to because I want to work more. This
Got it.
I want to create value. I want to bring technological innovation. That's where I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's my passion and that's what I feel I am meant for.
Great. Great. There's a little, not a funny question, but yes, this, common, another common man has put a very nice question. Please, can you ask the question? How can a common man who is not a crorepati or a lakhopati, but simply a chaypati, can start on cryptocurrency investment?
I think so. So a 10 year back, it was chai pati only. Chai pati could have started, right? But now, because everybody jumped, some of them are went really crazy. तो चाय पत्ती अभी भी जाके जो छोटी छोटी है उसमें आ सकते हो. बट अब इन देखो अगेन ये रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क्स हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, तो दे नीड टू बी कॉग्निजेंट ऑफ दैट. क्योंकि हमें वी शुड ऑलवेज रेस्पेक्ट एंड बिकॉज रेगुलेटर्स आर ट्राइंग टू हेल्प अस bring people into the system. So we should be thankful and follow the guidelines.
Got it. Got it. So, again, I'm going to take this as the last question, maybe, and then I'll start on other chat questions. But I have some basic
Sure.
questions which I need to definitely get answered. But
Sure.
in cryptocurrency, we don't know whom we are exchanging money. Is it right? See that?
Yeah, so I think that was the challenge, but I think most of the cryptocurrency these days, when the takeout, it's all done by KYC is done. So I think the most of I had a session with other crypto exchange guys in India.
Okay.
So they all do self-regulatory, and I think these regulatories are needed. These regulatories are needed as well everywhere.
Hmm.
So and we should be, so then at least the person is not going to, because a lot of initially a lot of like black marketing was happening in crypto and this.
Correct.
Everybody want to stay away. Those are loopholes. Those are drawbacks of cryptocurrency. Every system has some drawbacks. Everything you drive a car, there are risks you take. So there
Yep.
are risks, but the value is retained. That is the best part. The money, the biggest problem in my money, like I told you, you put 10,000 in 2010 in your bank, or maybe 2,000. Today its value is just $1,000. Like my father used to say, बेटा 1 रुपए में इतना गुड़ आता था कि हम लोगों ने खूब दिन भर खाते थे. ठीक है, अभी तुम 1 रुपए में लाके बता दो मुझे कुछ भी,
तो सही बात है.
वो तो 1 रुपया तो बंद भी हो गया होगा आपका.
I know. 1 रुपए नहीं, अब तो वहाँ टॉफियाँ चलती है, राइट? 1 रुपए की जगह
Exactly.
you get toffees, candies.
Exactly. So
Anyways, let's
you need
let's
a system which can retain its value.
yes. Now let me get back to one of the most important questions and the reason why we are doing this session as well. I've been reading a lot about Lakshmi Coin. We really want to, everybody on this session, including myself, we want to know more about Lakshmi Coin. What is Lakshmi Coin? When did it start? What has the journey been? What are some of the hurdles? And where do we stand right now with Lakshmi Coin? So, if you could tell us more about Lakshmi Coin now.
So I feel happy about Lakshmi Coin, but I feel bad about the because the hurdles, because I could not launch. Nobody can be more desperate than me, because I have invested my money, I have invested my time, and I envision, this is a vision more than money and everything. This is vision and technology. So I started with a blockchain technology called Rover Network, and like I mentioned again, we were bringing up the technological innovation which can scale to a large number. We could scale to like most of these competitors today. If I told you that Bitcoin can do 10 transactions per second, or let's say Ethereum can do 140 to 150, some range, like it can be up and down in that
Mhm.
range. Now, Ripple and Stellar EOS, they claim to do 1,000 transactions, or TPS, we call it TPS, transaction per second.
Okay.
Rover Network, we were able to achieve up to 3,000 transactions per second. That's
Mm.
the scale we were trying to build. So we are trying to bring the scalability as well as the integrity. We were working with IIT professors too to enhance the algorithms. So we are actually, people call it currency, whatever you can call, but for us it was a token of Rover Network.
Okay.
And we were working with some of the big fours for the building their supply chain platform on blockchain. And so Lakshmi Coin in nutshell, I've been getting regulatory hurdles. I'm writing to everyone in India. Today, as we speak, I have a lawyer who is drafting that can we get an exception to bring our blockchain platform everywhere. So what I want to do is I want to put servers in every district of in India or across the world. We want to talk to companies and so that can maintain your integrity. But we could not launch because I want to stay away from these regulatory. That's why we never launched. We did a basically give away. It's like a free airdrop. We got so much response. We got like a million user registered. 2 million plus users are waiting. It can be as crazy as in you can imagine. None of the blockchain had that blockchain project had that many users or participants.
Right.
There was a blockchain conference in Bangalore. 90% of the foot traffic was on Lakshmi Coin booth. So
Um,
like people are curious. People want to know, as well as we want to bring that platform to people, or who want to build their own app on top of it. Some applications like land registry, voting machine, you can call banks running on blockchain. I want to see the banks running on the blockchain or Lakshmi Coin blockchain. It's called Rover Network.
mhm.
So I think we are facing some regulatory hurdles, but as well as I'm very hopeful and thankful to Indian government. They are now thinking to come up with a regulatory framework. I mean, I wish that regulatory framework allows us to operate what we want to do, as well as maintain the regulations.
Okay.
So that's the state. It is like super crazy blockchain project which can actually really bring innovation.
Got it. So, then the next question would be, you've listed some of the benefits or some of the unique things about your Rover network and, about Lakshmi Coin. Uh, h- wh- when you talk about these hurdles, right, the regulatory or the government hurdles, why do you think are those hurdles coming? And how can somebody who's just like you, an enthusiast, who's so excited, like again, we talked about it twice already, that while you can easily retire, but at the same time you still want to revolutionize and you really want to continue. If somebody just like you, who's inspired, who gets inspiration today actually, and he still wants to do something, but due to the hurdles that even you are facing, doesn't do that, how can these hurdles be addressed, or what would be your suggestions that
So
what
I
can
would say I think typically we think this is a government system. We have people who are just thinking like top management is thinking old thinking. They don't get the technology. I don't want to criticize, but this is the reality of the world, right?
uh
And they rather than they letting the technological innovation happen, it's like when you want to see when a kid wants to learn the swimming, you cannot hold them all the time, or cycle, you want to learn a cycle, I cannot hold you all the time and tell you to learn also. Sometime I have to let you go a little bit. So if you don't, like, the people who are actually decision maker, they should let the innovation happen, because if you don't fall, you don't do the innovations. You don't make mistakes, you don't do the innovation. So my actually request, come up with the regulatory framework which enables these innovation, because we have been always in the technological back foot. Why can't we be the front? We should be the front, actually. We should be the first one to take the innovation. We
Yeah.
were late in the internet, we were late into, let's say, electric car. Today, where do we stand compared to the rest of the world?
Yep.
Can't we be the first one?
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's where I go back. I don't have hair, but I scratch my head. What do we do, man? I mean,
Exactly.
I started in 2010 and still struggling. It's
Yeah.
like almost 10 years.
Got it.
We had
Got it.
a team of like 20 plus engineer. We were working like 2 years and still can't do it. And I written like letter to every department.
Okay.
But with the due respect, I think they are coming up, and I want to thank them as well as they have done good job keeping the scammers away. So we should be thankful to them to
Perfect.
keeping the system.
Perfect. So, keeping in mind, the time, I'm gonna quickly glance through some of the questions, and then I have few more questions for you that I have. So, one of this I don't know if this is a misconception or not, but I would love you to clarify. It is estimated that most Bitcoin's miners end up using 60 to 80% of what they earn from mining to cover the electricity costs. Is it true?
That is almost true. Yeah, almost true. I cannot say on the numbers, but that's happening because. But now with Bitcoin price is going up. That may not be true. But mining now is very difficult, right? It's like now. Initially, that time I used to mine with like couple of servers, so it was possible. But now, even you have 10 servers, it's not like you. It's long process. You
Got
need
it.
professional machines to do that.
Okay, perfect.
And that
Uh,
is where, because of that reason, this is called proof of concept, okay, or mining.
yeah,
There is another called proof of stake, where the non-mining, and
right.
non-mining can scale. And that's why I was telling you guys earlier, the Ethereum also has planned to move to non-mining, because so far it's mining base, which cannot scale.
Got it. Got it. Okay. We see now we are going through many digital transactions and cards, but still common people use paper notes. Do you think in future people will go for crypto like basics and will leave the traditional currency notes?
I think that's going to happen sooner than later. RBI has announced they are coming with a blockchain based rupees, right? China is already doing. Entire world, I think the world will move there. And I think, and the my vision is Bitcoin will become the base, and then everything will be like on top of it. So sooner we allow these things to happen, so we don't stay back. Like, you waited 20 years, like, when to, I mean, do the things, and then all of a sudden you go, you say the rest of the world has gone far away, and I am just starting. Let's not that happen. Let's start the journey same time, or at least 10. Now we are just 5 to 10 years behind. At least start now, rather than starting after 20 years, when you say, oh man, द- कि दुनिया तो चांद पे चली गई, मैं
Exactly.
अभी स्टार्ट भी नहीं किया.
Exactly. Uh, Recently, there was this GameStop shares that shook the entire bull market. Any such thing would happen in future in the crypto?
I mean, yeah, it's difficult to predict, but these things can happen. Definitely happen. You can see with the Dogecoin what is happening. I don't know if people know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so these things will happen. They are bound to happen, and yeah, so we can't help much on that.
yeah. Okay. Uh, okay.
And be aware the crypto can go down all the time, all of a sudden. Also, the crypto, crazy things happen in crypto, so don't be jumping like all, like, you should be calculated, very well planned.
Okay. How can one trade in cryptocurrency?
I think in the US you can do it, right? US, rest of the world except like India and China, a couple of countries I don't know, but you can easily do it. You can buy a car here, you can buy a house. Who stops? Like, you can buy at Walmart.
All
or
right. Is there
PayPal.
an right, right, right? Is there an exchange for
PayPal is
trading?
accepting Bitcoin. You can buy anything.
Wow. Okay. Is there any exchange for trading?
In India, there are like CoinDX. There are a couple of them.
Hmm.
And US Coinbase IPO is coming. You know that
Oh, okay. I don't
it's
know.
already in the private market is like $77 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So somebody is trying to explain it even granularly. A blockchain is an open distributed ledger that records transactions in code. In practice, it's a little like a checkbook that's distributed across countless computers around the world. So, I see a common kind of questions or concerns in the chat where people are still trying to understand, what is blockchain. So maybe if you can give one more shot around it.
So let's
In
say blockchain is, let's say you are a consortium of 100 people.
uh
You claim that you have 10 rupees or $10. Now the system knows like from starting from your 0 to 10, how did you achieve? So every transaction is maintained on a so you cannot bluff. You cannot say you have 20. You cannot say, because all the integrity is maintained in distributed. And even like what happens today, the servers are database servers, like one database server, two database server, three database server. So rather than maintaining ledger at one place, everybody is keeping record. Okay, bhaiya, I am keeping a paper, I am keeping a paper, how much money Varun has. Now you cannot bluff. Even 10 of the friend out of the 100, you do something, it's not possible. So you need to convince 51 people to say you have a different number, right? So now, if these nodes are distributed across the world, it's almost impossible to collude, almost impossible to misrepresent it.
mhm. Okay. And then people really want to just know, somebody to start. What would be the first step? How can
I would
anybody who
say,
has no experience do
I
it?
would, I would say start with Bitcoin very, very low, very, very low, which is like you don't care. Then
Okay.
slowly grow, slowly grow, slowly grow. Bitcoin is the base to start with. Ethereum, Bitcoin, some of these.
Okay. All right. What about the Ripple XRP and investment point of view, please? What?
Okay, again, this is not a financial advisor. My personal take is Ripple. I got Ripple long time back. I used to hold lot of Ripple, but today it is like 58 cent because of the regulatory. So Ripple. There is another thing on Ripple is not truly distributed like all around open blockchain, so anybody can join. So that's the one disadvantage. But let's say if they get out of the regulatory, the Ripple value will shoot up really, really crazy, but if they don't, it will go zero. So you should be aware of it. I am still positive about Ripple because they claim to work with so many banks and all those, which is, I hope it is true.
Mhm.
And if that is the case, then definitely.
Okay. All right. So I have made the link public. Anybody who wants to come in and ask any kind of question to Mitten directly, you're more than welcome to do that. I hope I have asked all your questions from the chat, but let me go back to some of my questions as well, Mitten, and before we end the session for sure. Uh, you mentioned, when you started off Lakshmi Coin, the amount of people who showed interest, 2 million, and that was something exceptional. uh, h- where do we stand right now? And 2 million plus, and you said that 2 million are like in backlog, right? Something like that.
Right, right.
So
So we have, I think, people are very excited. I get message on LinkedIn. If people figure out my name somewhere, they ping me on LinkedIn or Facebook. When are you launching? I will get that question every day. Almost, let's say someday I can miss, but at least every month I'll get a message. Sir, when are you launching Lakshmi Coin? This is happening. I mean, I'm more desperate to launch than anybody because I am invested. I believe in it. I am passionate about it. That keeps me going. If you talk Lakshmi Coin, middle of the night, I'll just wake up. Okay. So But I don't want to do without a regulatory framework. I would want to respect the regulatory framework. I want to follow. I'm a law-abiding citizen of India and across the world. I want to respect the laws, follow the law. But my request to the decision maker, provide us a guideline, provide us a framework which we can work. We can bring a innovation. We can bring an innovation which you are proud of. You will be proud more than me. The regulators will be proud of that they have enabled a innovation, enabled a platform which their generations will be proud of.
Great, great. And that almost makes me feel as if our country or India is definitely losing edge. If people like you, if Lakshmi Coin is not given that kind of a platform, I think it's not your loss, it's not my loss, it's actually the country's loss. Is that?
I feel the same exactly. I feel the same. It's like 10 year back. If I would have started, let's think theoretically, right? 10 year back, I had my office. I had people coming and asking me to stop from regulatory. Okay, my
Okay.
team. It was very difficult for team the time, but the starting days we had people from CoinDesk, Reuters. The lot of people came to our office. How you are doing this? Show me how you are doing. They went to our Jaipur office to actually record our teams,
Wow.
and by this time we would have made lot of progress. I mean, it would have been one of the leading player. If not, I mean, my vision was to bring it to like top 1 or 2 or 10, but at least we would have been in top 5. But now,
Hmm.
where do we stand? We are not even started. Like everybody is gone, and we are not even started. So that's what I feel.
Okay, so before we end the session, of course, a couple of more questions. You mentioned a lot about this Rover network, and so can you talk a little bit more about how what is Rover network? How is it different from the Bitcoin blockchain, and tell us a little bit more about this thing.
So again, going back to my previous blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain is very good because to maintain the immutability of the ledger because it's doing mining. A lot
Hmm.
of question ask mining cost this much, mining is this, and it slows down. It slows down. So basically, the basic algorithm of blockchain was very good. Bitcoin starting was very good, but it can only do 10 transactions. Ethereum came up, Sol enabled the people to do application on top of it, use their language solidity and write. That was the second generation. Now third generation is like Stellar, EOS. There are no mining needed. Even Ethereum wants to move it. So Rover network is non-mining, is proof of stake because there are smart algorithm. You don't need all those minings anymore. Federated by Gente, practical by Gente, use those algorithm and enhance the because unless you bring it to mainstream where people can use, I mean, it's not as good as you vision. Our vision is to the technology to enable people. We on Rover Network or Lakshmi Coin, we say blockchain for masses, so mass adaptation. So that's where we were trying to achieve 3,000 transactions per second, and we wanted to get more.
Hmm.
So that's where Rover Network is proof of stake, but scalable. So, and we were working with a couple of top institutions across the world to enhance the algorithm, participate in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. And so can this network kind of run on different platforms? What kind of platforms will it work? Can it work on?
So you can put on any operating system these nodes. The nodes will join our blockchain, and on top of it, you can build any application, whatever application you want to build. It's like App Store, right? You submit your application
Okay.
or Android marketplace. So you put your application there. Similarly, Rover Network, you put your application, use the underlying system, use our token to incentivize or you maintain, pay for the usage.
Hmm. Got it. So are you saying even on mobile? Like
That is what
any.
I was trying. So lightweight agent will run on mobile because
Okay,
in India mining is impossible, right? You can
correct.
think this way. So the core servers will maintain the integrity. Those hundreds or thousands of servers are running, while as some of these mobiles are participating in the consensus algorithm or validating the transaction.
Right. And maybe last few questions. Can so you've mentioned about this, replacing the physical currency. You've mentioned about how different, you mentioned about different platforms or different verticals being using, this. uh, Even I think, if I'm not wrong, I heard you say the Indian payment system can be on this network. Is that right? Can.
That's true, exactly. So that's where we say like Rover Network. You can bring in your RBI rupee also on top of it. We
Yeah.
will integrate, we will do inter-exchange, and that will smooth, make the process so smooth. And I used to run earlier, like you are issuing a loan on top of it, the assets will be tied to it. So as you default, the assets will start transferring to the banks. So it's all automatic.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And the last, I would say, two or three questions. The first one I'll take is, uh, XRP Ripple was supposed to change the world on banking transaction. This is what I would love to help and support if someone wishes to build under the Make India program. Okay, that's a comment. So I think you are also getting a lot of support.
Thank
Uh,
you. I
and
think people are really into it. A lot of people support, and I want to be thankful to people who want to support the innovation, and we want to do it. We need like-minded people. We want to bring the transparency and integration.
Got it. Got it. What is the future of quantum computing? Are we ready for it?
Yeah, there are a couple of articles that quantum computing will actually will be able to hack blockchain, but I think blockchains are becoming smarter. I don't see that as a risk because that can be you put into a node in the blockchain network, take out all the computing. Whoever takes over the computing can actually disturb the integrity of the system. That's where like proof of stake will not have that problem. Proof of concept may get into this problem, but I think they're handling it very well. Blockchain, especially Bitcoin, is too many nodes. Now it's almost impossible to do that.
Right. Uh, I had a quick read. A Rover Network idea is nice. What about the cost?
Yeah, so cost because we will start so low, and that's why we keep the coins too high, the tokens too large number that we can keep the cost low. That's the one of the drawbacks today. The actual blockchain started to keep the transaction fees very low, but due to the price escalation, still it's no more fun. It's no more like compared to the fiat currency, and that's where we kept the numbers so large. Still, the cost will be very low.
Okay.
Because if you have more supply or more number, the value will be, I mean, slow and can be used. More people can participate basically.
Okay. Who owns crypto?
Nobody. Everyone,
Okay.
especially Bitcoin, everybody owns. Whoever participating in the node. So there's no central agency. There's no central agency.
Yeah. And what would be the transaction cost?
Yeah,
Is there any
today it's very
transaction
high,
cost?
but this should be. That's why some of the new blockchains are coming will keep very low. Transaction cost might be maybe starting with less like fraction of a rupee or paisa, but slowly we'll see.
Okay. All right. So, since we are almost at top of the hour, let's just kind of wrap it up by, let me ask very straightforward questions. And I, first of all, I really want to thank you for taking this time. Uh, Second, thank you for educating, for making people informed around Bitcoin. I'm sure this is session number one of many sessions, which I will definitely have with you, because
Thank
what
you.
this has done is, Mitten, I can see a lot of anxiety that people had. It's now becoming, people are becoming more inquisitive now. So changing people's mindset from being afraid or scared to getting more knowledge. I think that was the aim of this session. And I think we've been able to hit certain right notes for sure. So that's one. The second thing is we really want to, listen more about Lakshmi Coin and how we could make it like a mass movement, how we can even support in, if we can, from the back end to get, all your approvals and everything, and launch the do the official launch and play any kind of role. So that also will definitely do. But if you could tell, how do you see Lakshmi Coin change the landscape of, of multiple, verticals in the next, say, 5 years? Say, for example, we get it launched and everything is hunky dory. How do you see the next 5 to 10 years for Lakshmi Coin and Lakshmi Coin doing certain things for our country?
So thank you, Varun. And so the question is very key, it's very close to my heart. But if let's say everything is approved and all those, I think we will be one of the key player or main blockchain project. Actually, one of the main blockchain project which will enable people to build their application, build all kind of applications. So you can talk about the bank. I want to see banks running on Lakshmi Coin or Rover Network. So you don't have this Malia problem that Malia has done this or that or he done that. So those problems will go away slowly, and we will be one of the top five. Uh, I mean, cryptocurrency. That's where I want to see. Cryptocurrency is not my focus, though. By the way, my focus is blockchain. So we will be one of the top blockchain projects. You can call it currency. I don't even call it currency. I call it a token, reward, or a system to maintain the integrity. But we will be one of the top, or maybe actually number one, because the enthusiasm I see from people, support I see from people like you. I'm delighted, and other people who are participating and around. So with this support, because blockchain project is as good as the participant. So if you have more participants, more people building the app, it's why we app store is more useful than the any other store, right? Because a lot of people are using. Similarly, more people use the platform becomes better, scalable, and more value. So I see one of the key blockchain project, or maybe top one, top two, top five. I mean, whatever you can call it.
Got it, got it. I see a couple of comments, very encouraging comments. This young person in our who was asking and even commenting a lot, saying, Mitten sir, once I finish my college, I will join you. So a
Thank you, and
lot
I
of
look
people.
forward to it. I will be more than happy, and this is what I'm looking for.
Okay. I think there is one person who definitely, Hamare, Ramanji, he wants to join. I think he wants to make a certain point. So I'll let him join as well. But,
Sure.
Mitten, before we end the session, of course, one thing which I have to say, this was really very, very informative for me personally. And I'm sure, people who are going to watch it later are also going to get more questions, will get more, things that they want to clarify and, and ask. So maybe we will do maybe one more session in few weeks, whenever you find time and whenever we can align it. But, I definitely wish you, Lakshmi Coin, all the very best, because all I can say and I can see that this Lakshmi Coin will definitely bring some kind of a revolution in this crypto, or the payment industry, or overall for our country. And I would love to see that. Everybody keeps on saying make in India, make in India, and when somebody is doing something at such a scale, I think it becomes all the more important for people like me, like many more, to support such things. So, of course, wish you all the very best to your team as well. And do let us know. I've connected you with so many people. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of, connection requests both on LinkedIn and otherwhere, who will follow and see your journey. But do let us know, what do you feel, how we can help in helping you or getting you to the next next stage, in whatever way possible.
Thanks, Varun. First of all, I appreciate you inviting me in the show, and this is a very lucky or good moment for me, and I want to thank you, everyone, and you for providing support. I want to see Lakshmi Coin coming, changing the blockchain landscape, and bringing blockchain revolution in India. You say, or across the world. Let's say not India, just like across the world. I want people to build applications, build where actually these small problems we are facing every day, those will be gone. These like bad things, bad actors. So that's where I want to see, and I want to thank everybody, including the regulatories. They are doing great job, and hope they listen to me and provide a framework where we can work. I want them to stop the bad actors, and they have done wonderful job, no doubt. We want to follow the guidelines.
Correct, correct. Uh, I don't know if these guys are joining, but you know what we can do is we can definitely have another session, guys. I want to be mindful of the time. I really appreciate Mitten for taking out this time. I really appreciate you informing and educating a lot of us. And I'm very confident that people just like me who just got a little bit more interested will be starting doing a lot of research starting now. And while on one side I wish you all the very best, I definitely see a lot of interest building up in through the chats, and I'm sure a lot of people who will be watching later. The last point that I really want you to emphasize on, share with all of us is, if anybody is interested to know more, if anybody wants to connect, how and what can they do to connect with you and get more guidance.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm available in most of the social platforms, or even including Twitter, LinkedIn, and all those. Or reach out to me. You can email me. I am more than happy to educate people. I don't want to give any financial advice. I'm not interested on those things. So,
Exactly.
but yes, definitely I am happy or more than willing to educate. And as we grow, and let's say we get regulatory approval, we are looking to get people, smart people, like you said, somebody from the college. We are looking to have those kind of smart enthusiast people to be in our team.
Got it. Great. That is great. So again, thank you once again. Have a fantastic, fantastic day ahead. Day just started, but
Yeah.
I wish you, Lakshmi Coin, your entire team, all the very best. And like I said, this is just the first session. I would love to have you back again. I'm sure a lot of people would let me know, what specific questions they want me to ask next time. But I hope we were able to justify, based on a little bit of research that I did and based on what I know about Mitten and of course Lakshmi Coin. So thank you on that note, and I will see you guys very soon. Stay positive, do your research. Again, anything that Mitten mentioned here, he's not a financial advisor, so please do not act based on what he said. Please act only based on your own knowledge and research. One thing which I really want to highlight for what he mentioned, I think twice or thrice on this podcast, was only invest that much which you can lose or afford to lose. Don't invest your entire savings or anything, because that is not at all advisable. So last words before we leave, Mitten, from you.
Thank you. Blockchain, I believe. Basically, the one word I'll say, blockchain, I believe, and blockchain future is bright.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you
Yes.
so much, everyone. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Good night.